Where was I? Okay. The ability to be seen is the ability to be heard. Nobody notices you unless you've got something to say. And it's ideal to have mentors in your life, people who reflect the way you want to live your life, people who reflect the way you want to be looked at by the society or perceived, or something that people can say, this guy, we know him because of this and that, because of what he has done for his life or for his people or for somebody who is following him. That's why you gotta have to that's why you have to have mentors, people who shape the way you look at things, people who shape the way you look at your life, the way you look at your future, the way you look at your surroundings, and the way you look at everything you want to accomplish and everything you want to have. That's where you have to go. You have to have mentors. And I've had mentors throughout my life. Certain parts of my life, I've had every mentor for a certain job, for a certain principle, and for a certain derail of my life, I've had mentors. And some mentors can either deepen your knowledge of something you thought you know, or some can take you away from the things you thought you knew, and they will teach you new things, my man. That's the advantage of having mentors. Well, I'll say I thought at an early age, I thought my mentor had to be my brother, or it had to be my uncle, or my father. But as you grow, as you wander around the world, you'll see at the end of the day, your greatest mentor is yourself, with the power invested in you by the one above, the supreme being, God. Because you see, at an early age, I lost both my parents, both of them gone. At the early age of 8 years old, I had no father, no mother. It was only me and my half brother. So my half brother had to go away to his father, who was alive by that time, and I was to be left in the other side of my mother's family. That's where I had to grow to be what I am today. Not saying that I am well equipped and well reached or well versed or something like that. No, I'm just saying I had to grow into what I have become now, because of the mentorship I invited into my life, because of the mentorship I invited into the areas of my life, so I could accomplish or reach certain levels that I never thought or never wondered I could achieve. Uh, growing up, I think my first mentor was through sport, football, and it was by that time 0304. It was Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho was my first mentor. I loved everything about him. He was famous. He was a great footballer. He was touching and changing people's lives. He was bringing a smile to my face at an early age. I looked up to him. I invested most of my time in what he was doing with the ball. That's where I developed my sense to play football. But sometimes you develop a sense to do something, but you don't know it will turn up to be your gift or your talent one day. But that's where I nourished some of my talents through what I knew he was doing, and I tried to emulate everything he was doing to become better myself. And also through television, the likes of Steve Harvey. He was the guy. I watched his show, the Steve Harvey show, at an early age, and the way he was making me laugh, I think he was making me forget about a lot of things. He was making me forget about a lot of stress. He was giving me another perspective or another view towards life, that I could make it even though you've been shattered, you can still end to laugh, you can still be happy by clowning. That's where I became a clown. I became a class clown. I developed a sense of humor. I could laugh at a certain bad situation. As life goes on, many mentors have come into my life, man. I've had teachers, man. A person who was very influential in my life, I would say, just Mr. Mulatudi. At my senior level, he was a well-versed guy teaching biology. He knew his ways around everything, so he was most influential in the way I behaved, in the way I looked at things, the biology type of things, if I may put it that way. But he was influential. He was one of my mentors. Even certain players in Botswana, I looked up to them. They were my mentors as well. They added to what Ronaldinho had already added to my life, the likes of Manu Tupo, the likes of Penyo Mongala. They were great individuals to look up to and say, hey, this guy is doing it, and so forth and so on. As it goes on, certain individuals also came into my life, the likes of Mr. Twisanga Tuse, a great man of God. He showed me how to pray. He taught me prayer. He taught me the power and the love of Jesus Christ. Not that I didn't have that within me, I had it, but I didn't know that if I focused my energy and everything in Jesus, everything would blossom very quickly. Because when I tried that, I reached certain limits that I never thought I would reach in my life. It changed my whole life. It changed everything about me. Even to the day, I still require Jesus Christ as my one and only Savior. I've invited him in my life, and everything has been going up ever since. Yeah, it shows and goes on that mentors are your best relationship you can have, to have yourself a mentor.